Welcome, educators, parents, and anyone who's invested in children's lives. Through this series, ChildrenPlus Connects, our guests answer some of the most important topics about children's mental health and well being. Children Plus is committed to creating awareness and providing care for children's mental health. Today, a child spends his day between the school and at home. It's very important for the child's mental health that the parents and the teachers are in sync with the condition of the child. In this episode of Children Plus Connects, I have with us a very special guest, Miss Rita Kapur, Director, Gyanshree School, Noida. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am,
Thank
and
you.
welcome to Children Plus Connects. Ma'am, my first question is because the children spend equal time at home and at school, how important are parents and teachers to be in sync with what the child is going through in terms of the child's mental health?
Mental health is something which we feel is the most important thing if we really talk about education in a school.
Yes.
The most important dimension of education is that the comfort of the child in the classroom, comfort in terms of mental comfort and physical comfort. When we talk about mental comfort, the child should be made to feel wanted, valued, respected, and accepted in the classroom by his peer group and by the teacher. This is the most important thing. And at home, of course, for parents, children are their world. They are important people for children and for parents and for school both. Hence, it's very important that they are on one platform to raise the children, nurture the children, bring them up.
So, are there some areas where you think that the parents should come and inform the school teachers or vice versa on specific issues?
Of course, communication in any case for all children is very important because children are all individuals. There are commonalities, but still there are individual differences. And whenever individual differences cross the borderlines, then there is always merit in talking to the parents, the teachers talking to the parents, and parents talking to the teachers, both ways. Because communication, very transparent and very healthy communication, is important for the well-being of the children.
Do you think there is something very specific that the parents should always inform the teacher as and when they arise? Are there any very specific things?
Health issues are very important. Behavioral issues are very important. These two parameters are very important for teachers to know. Because when we're talking about children, we are talking about children in their infancy, in the early years.
Yes.
Because that's a time when all these behavioral or health issues, they come up, and unless they are addressed properly, they start impacting the life of the child later on. Hence, it's important that the parents should talk to the teachers. And if teachers get any indicators, they should get back to the parents.
So, any change in behavior is what you're saying?
Yes, any change in the behavior of regular parameters has to be addressed. In fact, when we admit the children in the nursery or at the reception class, we always talk about the pregnancy and there are issues with pregnancy or any developmental milestones which might have been delayed in terms of child's growth. So everything is taken into account.
Okay. Are there any initiatives that the school takes to educate the parents or empower them with something that they should look out to or see just for the betterment of the child?
Yes, they do. In fact, today's parent is very well aware because Google provides all the
Oh, yes.
information. Sometimes the information is much more than what is required and turning parents into really, they become paranoid about things also. Hence, talking to the parents is important, making them aware is important, holding workshops for the parents, group discussions where parent, of a same class or a same batch, they come together, they make friends with each other, get to know each other, and they discuss how is the other child doing and how the parents are coping up. So these things are very important, and good schools are getting into this kind of activity. And in case the schools feel that there's a need for a parent to be knowledgeable beyond a point, then one-on-one talks are also important.
Okay.
They can be called for. discussions.
So, getting back to the children, that how does Gyanshree create a safe environment, environment of trust for the children to open up and come and talk to teachers or the counselor about any problem that they have?
See, as I said in the beginning only, unless a child feels wanted, accepted in the classroom, and he feels that he's contributing to the environment in school, and the place is safe for him, no bullying, no aggression, and the teacher is very polite and nice and decent and listens to the child very carefully. So these are the things, initial things to make a child comfortable. So this is the value of the school. And when we set up a school, any school when it's set up, the teachers training, this is the most important part of teachers training.
Okay.
So we train teachers and practice these values, and they become culture of the school. All practice values they become culture.
So I understand this is imbibed in the value system of the school.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's lovely. Ma'am, how's been the journey of mental health and mental wellness in schools in India?
Mental health and mental wellness has always been very important part of school education. In fact, as I said, it's a pillar. It's on this pillar that we build up learning, cognition, activities, framework curriculum, everything. If you go by the history of this thing in India, it was, I think, in 1995 that India adopted Salamanca Statement of UNESCO. This statement had 72 countries who participated and felt that inclusive education should be part of every school system. And from there on, it was taken upon schools to be their social and moral responsibility to create inclusive spaces in the school, inclusive environment in the school, because it's very important for a special child to be in a very, very simple, regular school. And it's the same thing with the regular students, to be in touch with those children and really, learn to live with them, because the inclusive society is the future of the world.
Thank you so much for that insight, ma'am. Ma'am, I've seen the report cards that we get, and I'm talking as a parent, they're fairly detailed. Not only do they give quantitative marks and percentage, but they also describe other qualitative traits. So, leadership and children taking initiative. It almost appears that the report is really positive looking, which is good. As parents, are there any red flags we should be able to see, in the sense that the teachers would also like to put it down in a manner for the parents to see that there is a certain problem? Could you help me understand if there are some phrases or something specific they write and that should raise an alarm or at least sound of the parent?
Actually, we like to give very positive report. Even if it's negative, it has to be put into a positive fashion. Like, we never say it's impossible. We say it's not possible. It may not be possible. Something like this. Because even if you have to give some kind of alarm or alert the parent, it's not, one shouldn't be very overbearing and pushy, because that's not good for the mental health of the parent also. So the communication is designed in such a way that you gradually come to the point.
Okay.
So when we give a positive, negative report in a positive way, that is where parent needs to, probably go and discuss with the teacher. If you could please explain this to me more elaborately, or something like that.
Ma'am, that's great to know that you're actually working on two levels. Not only child's mental health, but you're also conscious of how the parents are going to take this information and process that. Because you mentioned that the parents' mental health is also important.
That's more important, because they are the caregivers. And anywhere, caregiver becomes very important for the mental and physical health of the so-called patient, or the victim, or the child, or whatever you say. These are not good, very, very good words to be used for the children. But wherever help is required, the caregiver is very important. And in terms of parents, it's very difficult for parents to accept that there is a problem.
Right.
They can never accept that the child is different.
So do you think that's a major problem in finding a solution for the child, that the parents' acceptance is low?
Yes, I would say this is the most important thing, and it's the most challenging part also. In fact, in case the problem is serious, we have to take 2, 3 sessions with the parents gradually, where the teacher talks and the counselor talks. Then eventually the principal sits and makes them comfortable. When I talked about the mental comfort of the child, then we look at the mental comfort of the parent also, trying to find out whether there are problems in the family or in the society. Invariably, there is a problem somewhere. So once you address the problems, then parents come around and they discuss more freely, and that's how we are able to help each other.
I've also noticed a very extensive and elaborate sports setup at Gyanshree, and it's taken very seriously. And I see after school sports, and I think you're the first school in Noida to have a heated pool,
Yes.
swimming pool. So there is a lot of emphasis there. Do you think that's working well for the children in terms of keeping them busy and finding an area where they excel or do well or like doing?
Sports to me, I've never been a sports person, but sports to me are very important. If not more important, they're equally important, because field is a place where child lets himself loose. Otherwise, we always work in very conditioned and controlled environment: the classroom, the lab, the library, home, bedroom. But the field is open. So that's the place which gives wings to the children to fly,
So I was
excel.
asking this in terms of a child's mental health. So you think it's giving him a child a place to express himself and
Absolutely.
yeah.
When I say gives free wings to the children to fly, let their imagination let loose and play the best they can. So it is important.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this insightful session. And it was great. And I hope our viewers benefit from some of these points that we brought up in this session today. Thank you so much, ma'am.